Yeah. Game time, clock's ticking, no room to hesitate. Pressure builds, feel the weight, legends never late. Field channels, carving paths, tactics like chess. On this turf, every move defines who's the best. Stay tuned, stay clutch, feel the energy surge. Every snap, every play, adrenaline's purge. Breaking it down, no fluff, pure truth to discuss. From the huddle to the end zone, it's all about us. Past collide, gladiators on this green coliseum. Playbooks unfold, scheming dreams to redeem them. Refs whistle cuts, the tension like a knife. Each yard gained another chapter in the strife. Blitz. Yeah. Game time, clock's ticking, no room to hesitate. Pressure builds, feel the weight, legends never late. Field channels, carving paths, tactics.
Yes, sir.
On this turf, every move.
It's a Wednesday night, baby.
Clutch, feel the energy surge. Every snap, every play, adrenaline's purge. Breaking it down, no fluff.
I'm back up in the building. Welcome back.
It's all about us. Past collide, gladiators on this green coliseum. Playbooks unfold, scheming dreams to redeem them. Refs whistle cuts, the tension like a knife. Each yard gained another chapter in the strife.
Welcome, everybody. Salute to all my people that's in the building, man. Welcome to the CFP Blitz, man. Y'all know we supposed to drop this yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. We supposed to drop it yesterday, but we're here today. We supposed to get it done yesterday, folks. No lie. But I got caught up in the no lie. I got caught up watching all of the hoopla of the break. They was talking about the playoffs. I got caught up in it. I got caught up in the matchups. I got caught up in all the hoopla and all the everything. It was so much. It was so much to break down. It took me a minute to get it all in, guys. I mean, my little script wasn't even comparing to what I heard. I'm not gonna lie. Everything I heard yesterday, I still wasn't able to even. Without further ado, welcome to the Clutch Sports Media 365 College Football Breakdown. It's the College Blitz Review. Rumble Sports, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, we everywhere. I'm your host, Jay's Perspective. Thank you for tuning in. Put some respect on the perspective, because guess what? I'm Jay. And without me, baby, there's no this. So, guys, let me tell you, we had a good energy this weekend. Upsets. Cold-blooded upsets. We needed teams to win. I know some people's teams fell. Upsets that stung. Miami, we got to talk about you. What happened? Clemson. Oh, my God. LSU keeps slipping. They fired the head coach, fired the AD. I mean, the governor of the great state of Louisiana then chimed in. It's getting messy. Yes, it's getting real wicked out here in the college world right now, folks, and we're here for all the action. So welcome, Clutch fam. This is the Clutch Wednesday review show, your weekly CFP breakdown powered by Clutch Sports Media 365. Again, I'm Jay's Perspective, and if you love college football, chaos, storylines, and fire takes, guess what? You're in the right place. Week 10 delivery. And we're about to dig into the wild wins, embarrassing collapses, player explosions, what it all means heading into the crunch time. Strap in. It's Wednesday. We got college tonight, but it's the MAC. We had it last night. I'm here for all of the action. So it's Wednesday. Let's go clutch. I got some audio to play while we in here, guys. So yes, sir. We're gonna start with some yes, sir. Hold on. Let's go. I'm James Respect, baby, and this is CFB Blitz. Let's get to it. Let's go. CFB Blitz, baby. We live.
I got plenty of ambition, you should never try to sleep on me. Cause I won't stop until I'm securing the victory. Wake up in the morning with that positive energy. I know negativity could be your worst enemy. It ruin everything you built up if you let it. So I'm working hard, I won't stop until I get it. I don't follow no trends unless I'm the one who said it. Why should I follow somebody when the top is where I'm headed? I got big dreams, I'm doing big things. I'm working all day, I never complain. I see behind all the mirrors and the smoke screen. This shit ain't really hard as they try to make it seem. I've been writing all these lyrics, trying to get my mind right, trying to keep the flow steady, trying to get the bounce tight. Now my shit is sounding litty, ready for the limelight. When it's time to get it, I'ma get it, nigga, damn right. Niggas flop, niggas chop, niggas quitting.
All right, guys. We gotta talk about the weekend shockers. We gotta get to the weekend shockers. We gotta get to the clutch or collapse. You know what it is. Man, come on, guys. We got the clutch or collapse. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So we got some work out here. My guys. Clutch or collapse. So let's start with the collapses. Clemson, the Tigers, blew a 15-game home thing in Death Valley, losing 46-45 to the Duke Blue Devils. Defense gave up 361 and four scores. Allowed a 100-yard kick return. That's not just yikes. It's what we're going to call territory. Huh? What? What'd you say, Jay? Hmm. Hold on. Hold on. What? Hold on, folks. Hold on. Let me get the cameras. Let me get the cameras up. Let me get the cam. I know y'all like the cam. I know y'all come for the cam, man. You hear me? Hold on. I come for the cam. Hold up. Here we go. Hold up. Let's go. Man, here we go. I'm gonna just go straight here. Oh wait, I gotta cut it on first. There you go. Gotta cut the cam on first, guys. Hold on. There we go. Cam on. There it is. Your boy, Jay's Perspective. You know, in that Michigan blue, maize and blue, if anything, you know, coming through clutch with it. You know, go blue in the building for the M, you know, I'm talking about Michigan, baby. Yes. Why my head looking like this? Hold on. Go fix that head, baby. Go blue, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Stand two. So Let me start with the collapses first. Let me get to the collapses. You know what I mean? Hold on, look, and we just like the players. We put the shites on too. It starts with Clemson, who blew the 15-point lead at home in Death Valley, losing to the Duke Blue Devils. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up the little screen. Let me pull up this. Let me get the college scores from last week, so I can have the illustrations for y'all. Get some illustrations. Illustrations. Let's go straight to it. Where are they? Where are they? Come here, guys. Now we got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot to talk about. I don't like my cam. I don't like my cam. We don't worry, we upgrading over here too. We're gonna be upgrading everything. There it is right there. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Right here. Oh. Yeah, he pulled it. I pulled it right there. First we talking about Jace. We talking about this one. Two. There it is. So alright. Here we go. Alright. So like I was saying, 46-45, the Blue Devils come back and they spank that hide. They get busy. Other than that, guys, you gotta look at this. Clemson gave up. They collapsed. They gave it up. Then we got the big win alert coming from the Oklahoma Sooners, who pulled off a 33-27 on the road versus the Tennessee Volunteers. Now that's a statement. That is one of those statements where Tennessee is like, wait, we got this. We got this. That's what they thought they got. We all thought Tennessee had it. No lie. Oklahoma, I thought Oklahoma was dead. I did. I thought Oklahoma was dead. But come to find out, they wasn't. They decided to show up, show out, and then get it all over with. Matter of fact, let me just go here and get my script out the way first. Then we can get to the other good stuff right now. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I like how yeah, there you go. I like how it looked right there. So guys, big win alert. The Oklahoma Sooners pulled off the 33-27 road win over the Volunteers. Then we got the Longhorns edging out Vanderbilt. Yellow Pound edging out the Commodores 4-21. 34-31, pardon me. 34-31, Vanderbilt falls to the Longhorns. Now, on the dominant side, the Indiana Hoosiers, they rolled all over Maryland, 55-10, putting that all in them. That's not just that. That's not just a win. That's a billboard saying we mean business. Number two in the country came in and showed us Why they're number 2 in the country. Another 50 burger they drop on an opponent. They put up the numbers. If you're contending for playoffs, you can't be this messy. You can't be this sloppy. You can't collapse. You got to be clutch. If you're buying in, you better be dominating like Indiana did. If you're nervous, like Tennessee, well, guys, your stock, well, see, it looked like Clemson's film. You're falling. You're taking a dive. You're relying on those mistakes and costly penalties like Vanderbilt. And it still doesn't drum you up a win. At this particular time in the season, you need clutch victories. You got to come through that joint knowing you own the place. Arch Manning heard all the news that we were talking. He heard all of the bad news of how they sucked. And they played like winners. Oklahoma heard they falling apart. Their season is slipping. But they were able to go out there and get the clutch win. Duke fought back and came through clutch and upset Clemson in Death Valley. Change the name because there's nobody dying in that valley. They're not. Dabo went out there and said, I guess I'm about to lose my job. Nope, you're not. Brian Kelly. No champ. It's not over. It's not curtain call just yet. Not yet. It is not over yet. Now, guys, the top 10 shuffle. We're going to get into the top 10 shuffle. Now, in case you wasn't paying attention, the top 10 is shuffling. I'm talking top 10 shuffle. Now, this is going to be pure the latest AP move. Notre Dame Fighting Irish returned to the top 10, landing at number 10 after beating Boston College Eagles 25-10. They beat the Eagles, guys. Boston College, I love you. I love you, Boston College. I do. But they have not been good this year. I understand it's a tough, hard sell to get people to come up there to Boston College. But if we're going to do this NIL, pay to play, and all this other stuff, we got to kind of make this an overall fair playing field because you're starting to see powerhouses. Because this is the least competitive game I done seen Notre Dame apply pressure to a school that they should beat and blow out. Honestly, think about it. They beat Arkansas. They blew them out. Then they went on a tangent for a second. But 25-10 over Boston College, it's like, whoa, wait, number 10? Then we had the Utes who took down Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was sitting there like, wait, listening to the Bearcat news, I was like, okay, that's going to be a decent game coming in next week. I'm like, all right, Cincinnati. And then when I watched the game, whoa, what the? I watched Utah blow out Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, and it wasn't like, oh wait, they're world beaters just yet. But they beat the sleeves off of the Buffaloes. Then not only to turn around and take down Cincinnati, they bust their ass. 45-14. The Cincinnati playoffs hopes took a major hit. So this is what I'm talking about when we talk about November football for the CFP. Because last night, that's what kept me from dropping this episode to last night. Because I was like, I was intrigued as how all this was going to play out. Because teams made such turnarounds and ugly losses. I was like, how are you going to fit all these people into 12 down to 1? How? How are we going to do this? But meanwhile, the usual suspects, Ohio State Buckeyes, remain atop. But wait. We're seeing some cracks elsewhere. Rankings do not lie. But there's still highlights. Who earned that top spot? Who got who won the top spot? Because when I seen the rankings last night, I was like, wait a minute. Wait. Ain't nothing changed. Guys, nothing changed. From 10 to 11. Nothing changed from rankings are nice, folks. But execution is everything. If you're there but looking vulnerable, you're just a loss away from chaos. And that's what Oklahoma and a couple of other these teams are looking like. Because you're going to run into a team that is competing at a higher caliber. And they're going to click. And buddy, we just see the Utes upset the Bearcats. Cincinnati looked like they were stuck in one gear. Could not get anything going. We watched the Colorado Buffaloes who, what happened? What happened with that program? Arizona was looking good. Arizona State was looking good. Now they're middle of the pack. Miami. Oh my, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Now, I got to talk about some clutch players of the week before we get to the good stuff. I'm going to get away from the bad news. The bad news, I'm going to get to the highlights. There's specific names, specific player names, and stats from every game that aren't laid out in our sources. Here's what to lean into. The Indiana ground game exploded over 300 yards rushing, led by Kalon Black with 110. And quarterback Fernando Mendoza tossed 2 TDs before leaving. Now, I want you to pay attention. He does turn the ball over occasionally. That's my only thing with Mendoza. He has a tendency for the turnover. That's the only thing I have against the Mendoza is that the turnover is just there. Now, on the flip side, if you're tracking defense weaknesses, Clemson's cover unit gets a big not clutch marker. They gave up 45 to Duke. They gave up 45 points to Duke. So we can go kill Kalion Black, 110 rushing game. Pay attention to that young man. Indiana, number 2 in the country right now. Running game is decent. Mendoza, he's running that offense efficiently. Clemson defense is atrocious. They've been exposed a number of times. I don't know why and what it is. Why Diabo hasn't got it figured out yet. But my goodness, guys. The cover unit gets a big not clutch marker. I'm not even playing with them. I'm not even going to hold you. No, not happening. All right, so make sure to pick out a breakout individual, quarterback, running back, or defender that delivered under pressure and ties into a team search. You can follow us on X. Matter of fact, let me put the banner up at the bottom so you know where to follow us at on our socials, guys, so that you know where you can go. You can catch us on X at Clutch SM 365. That's where all on Instagram at Clutch XM DM. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm bad at checking the DMs on Instagram. I'm on Twitter more than I'm in my Instagram. I'm on my YouTube more or less. We're on Rumble. We're on Twitch. But if you're really trying to get at me, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. We're on all socials pretty much. But guys, let me know who your breakouts is. All right. We got a breakdown board, and this is gonna give us a breakdown. Indiana. I know. I gotta talk about them. They're number 2 in the country. They did put up. They put up. They delivered. Execution wins. Indiana's line controlled Maryland. They dictated tempo. That's how you dominate. See, when I look at the fact that that will be a team that I think can knock off Ohio State, that's who I think it would be. They execute the plays well. Running game is one of those running games that you got to watch out for because the running game, the running back, and the quarterback efficient. Passing game, definitely that. Mendoza can throw the ball. Like I said, he has a weakness, though. He can turn the ball over now. Don't get it twisted. He turns the ball over. But they will get up on you real quick. Collapse. These guys, this is why I think they will miss and miss badly. Clemson defense got torched, and their special teams gave up big plays. Can't rely on legacy when you're giving up chunk plays every season, and it's Clemson. Clemson, this is the first year where I think we will see. They probably not find Dabo right now, but Dabo can look forward to probably being excommunicado, fired, departed, whatever you want to call it. This is not looking good for the Tigers. You see what LSU did. You see what Florida did. Auburn was the last team, and we reported that was Monday night or Sunday night. Yeah, it was Sunday night. Sunday night football. Auburn fired their head coach. The last of the Mohican. I'm like, wait a minute. Huh? Auburn Tigers? Wow. Didn't even get into the story because there was so much other football stuff going on for the NFL and then the trade deadline and everything that happened with that. Guys, it's been a wanky week of sports. And then we haven't even got to the playoff bracket for college football to even talk about that. Now, opportunity. Oklahoma has an opportunity. Oklahoma Sooners, yes, the Sooners, they have an opportunity showing signs. They win and beat Tennessee. That shows they can win tough road games. Now, that matters when November gets into full swing. Now, I'm not going to lie because last few games, they have looked like, did we crown them too early? Do they really still have what it takes? Honestly, I was starting to wonder if is it really are they there? Because I mean, when they beat my Wolverines, I was like, I mean, they seemed like a good team. Then they won them a few more. Then they went on a skid. I was like, this can't be. But to show that they have improved and the opportunity is given to them, they have turned it around. After losing to Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns, Oklahoma has bumped back in, and guys, they are not playing around. They're not. So we're here to see if they can ultimately do what they're supposed to do. So this is definitely Oklahoma showing signs with the win versus Tennessee that they can win on the road in some tough games. Rather you want to believe it or not, I'm not saying Mateor is that guy, but guys, Oklahoma has pulled it off, and they're still being talked about. We're going to talk about it some more. Trust me. Now, let's look ahead. Let's look ahead. Now, I want to look ahead because we're about to get into the greatest point of the night. The point where I came to give you the information. Because college football, the old guys came out. They hung their hats up. They put up their old board and they said, you know what? We like this school. We like this school. We like this school. We have a 12 system, 12 teams. We're going to get 12 and we're going to work it down till we crown one. There's a major game looming with implications for playoff positioning. Keep an eye on the road test and the trap games. You heard what I just said? There's major games coming up. There's teams outside looking in. I'm gonna play a little bit of the broadcasters' announcements of what they said to back up what I just said, so that you can understand what I just said, so that we can be on the same page on what I just said, and then we can both be in agreement. So when the Friday night blitz gets here, the Saturday blitz gets here, you don't look crazy when your team loses. All right? I like that. I like that. Clip that and snip that and put that in my goddamn clips. Please, somebody clip that. I need my mod. I'm making mods on Rumble. My favorite person who's always here. You're my favorite mod. You're the number one mod. But guys, listen. The teams that show strength this week have a chance to separate the ones that didn't. Their one loss is away from Panic City. Now, there's already some teams with 2 losses, 1 loss. I'm looking at the fact that these 2 loss teams are one way or one away, but the conferences is why they're trying to find a little wiggle room. They're trying to find just enough wiggle room to let somebody in with a 3 loss. Not happening. If man, no. Let's stop it. Advise the audience, guys, to focus on what's going and what's coming up. Because I want you to know this week set it's gonna set it. It's gonna set the standard. You lose this week, you might find yourself outside looking in. All right? Listen, what I'm trying to tell you. You lose this week, you're gonna find yourself looking outside. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me pull this up right quick. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me get to it right there. Pull this thing up here. Because LSU got Alabama this week, and they're not even ranked. And, that kind of threw me off right there, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Got it. I got it. Hold up. All right, here we go. All right, here we go, y'all. Y'all got some time for me tonight. Y'all have some time tonight. Y'all got some time tonight. Here we go, right here. Hold up. I'm pulling it up right. All right. And like I said, college football this week, guys, is definitely going to be one that is going to be one with excitement. One that is like an NFL playoff implication for the weekend. Because you're going to need to win. If you don't win, I don't know what to tell you guys. But here it is, guys. Hold on. My boy Nick got me. Thank God my dog Nick came through clutching it for us. Hold on. Hold on. My dog Nick got us. Hold on, folks. Let me get it. Let me pull it up. You don't need to win, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can't expect. He got look. I'm at the bottom. My dog Nick this way. This way. Like my sense of direction is so off, y'all. My sense of direction be so fucking off, y'all.
Welcome to College Football
CFB,
Playoff.
baby. Let's go.
Top 25. Presented by
Go Blue. Welcome, man, bro.
Allstate.
For more than 2 months, teams have jockeyed for position
Hold on, I got my little thing about
to try to find a spot in this bracket.
How
Some
you
had
get to the
moments at
next
the
show?
front,
They're gonna be on the next show, right?
only
here.
to step on a rake and break their own face. Others had bad moments, but fought their way back into the mix. Some have arrived with audacity and backing with money, and some have defiantly stayed in the fight no matter what the odds. There are others that are looking for the smallest of opportunities. And then there's yet another group that is separated with the rarest of traits, consistency. Upheaval. Upsets have ruled. A combustible mix boils down to simply finding out where everybody starts the college football playoff race. And it's on
That's
starting
up right there, so you ready
tonight.
So all I gotta do is just stay like this. I ain't gotta move no more. I get to be like here.
With Monday.com's intuitive work management
Right here,
platform,
like this.
you have the power. Not
Right.
IT, not admins. You're in charge. So you can tailor work
All
exactly
right, here we go, folks. So, all right.
We are
For the first time tonight, we'll know what the selection committee thinks
peoples.
of this bracket.
First, my dog Nick got me making sure y'all.
Year of the
committee
college
rankings of the
football
year. Who do you
playoff,
think's gonna be
second
number
year
one?
of the
Ohio
12
State,
And look, like I told y'all, look, all these people
Indiana,
right here in this
12
room,
A&M
people
maybe.
making the determination of how
all these people in this room.
these teams
Strength of
will
schedule
be
matters
ranked,
more this
at
year.
least to start. All hats checked at the door. You recuse yourself if you have a connection to the various teams that are under consideration. Glad to have you with us. College football playoff top 25. We're going to show you the rankings in a matter of moments. We haven't seen them. You see them when we do. Reese Davis, Booger McFarland, Joey Galloway, and Greg McElroy. What are you looking forward to tonight, Boog?
Well, just to see the makeup of this committee. It's a new committee, and just to see what they're weighing. I think the biggest thing I always look for every year is how do you weigh the head. And we got two teams with a couple of losses, Miami and Notre Dame. They've played each other. Miami beat Notre Dame. One team is ascending, the other team is descending. How does this committee look at these two teams tonight? I think where they're ranked tonight gives us just a little bit of insight to that.
I want to see what happens at the top of the three undefeated teams: Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M. They're going analytics or they're going eye test. When you look at these three teams where they sit tonight, now again, this is the beginning, Greg. It doesn't matter.
There we go.
Settle down.
First one.
Yeah.
But I do want to see what they do with those three teams because their resumes are so different.
I love Joey. Always, it'll take care of itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
worry about
always
nothing.
takes care of
always.
itself. Like the last 2 years,
Yes.
there's been no drama on selection
None.
day. The team I'm most intrigued by a mile is Georgia Tech. This year, the committee, albeit different individuals, also slightly different weight to the analytics and the criteria. You now have schedule strength metric, which is slightly different than what we've seen in the past. We also have record strength metric than what we've seen in the past. It's weighed more heavily. And the team that best reflects that is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's got a beautiful 8-1 record. They've looked really good offensively. They have a Heisman contender at quarterback. They've been able to run the ball. They've been able to throw the ball. Defensively, yeah, they had one hiccup, but their schedule strength, according to our metrics, is sitting at 84. Last year's committee really put a premium on win-loss. They would have been probably 7, 8, 9 last year. Where are they this year with the new weight on schedule strength and on record strength? That's what I'm fascinated to find out.
Right, and record strength is an official criteria for the selection committee for the first time, meaning how well did you play against your schedule. Now, you've seen this on ESPN.com, and committee members can look at it if they want, but it's an official metric now. Just a reminder of how things are. We've tweaked the field just a little bit, or not the field, but at least seeding the field. 5 highest-ranked conference champions all get spots in the field. Then after that, it will just be the highest-ranked teams. Now, when you start to fill out the bracket for the final rankings, The 4 highest-ranked teams, regardless of whether they've won a conference, regardless of conference affiliation, will be seeded 1 through 4. Then beyond that, you'll have 8 teams playing in the first round. Those top 4 get the bye. The teams seeded 5 through 8 will get games on campus. We need to get more games on campus, but that's a different discussion for a different day. Then we'll play throughout the bracket. No reseeding or anything like that. Quarterfinals and semifinals in the traditional bowl sites, as you see there. Then the national championship game will be played in the greater Miami area on January 19th, and that's when they will decide it. So now let's look at the initial rankings from the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, brought to you by Allstate. Team checking in at number 25 after losing to Oklahoma. It's the Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee, 25,
at number 24, ahead of Josh Heupel's team. The Pittsburgh Panthers. Now, Pittsburgh only has 1 loss in ACC play, explosive offense. They have 1 non-conference loss.
And they might be one of the most impactful teams remaining. They still play Notre Dame, they play at Georgia Tech, and they host Miami in their final 3 games. So this team, albeit at 24, has a huge impact on what this playoff might look like.
Number 23, the Washington Huskies. The Huskies only lost. Now, they didn't score much against either Ohio State or Michigan, but otherwise, Jed Fish's team has been rolling in explosive offense. Number 22. Eli Drinkwitz's Missouri Tigers, and a big opportunity coming for them when they play Texas A&M.
When you talk about a team that is going to play a factor, look no further than Missouri from strength of record, the teams they played, to now the big tilt coming up against A&M.
Missouri.
Number 21. Michigan. Now, the Wolverines have probably lost their 2 most difficult games. They had the win over Washington. They lost the game on the road to Oklahoma, lost the game on the road against USC.
That big 5-point win over Purdue as 20-point favorites
we talk about who could possibly be that 4th Big Ten team if they get 4. Look at Michigan, look at USC, who I'm expecting to be coming up pretty soon.
That's a great point. USC and Washington are going to play later on, too. Let's look at number 20. At number 20, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Very interesting.
They've improved over the course of the season. The offense, even with Mark Gronowski at quarterback, started very slowly, getting better. Shot at Iowa. At Oregon, I should say, coming up for an opportunity.
And you have to wonder, this is the first team where you're like, all right, are they factoring in a good loss? Nobody played Indiana better than Iowa. So maybe they're factoring that in a little bit here.
The AP poll this week obviously doesn't matter anymore, but Iowa's 26 on there. They're the first team out.
Bit of a reach here, but maybe they're factoring in how they played against Indiana.
Yeah, I had the loss to Iowa State early. The Cyclones have struggled since then. So Kirk Ferentz's team checking in at number 20, also reflecting some strength in the Big Ten so far that we've seen in these rankings. Number 19. Speaking of strength in the Big Ten, there they are. The Trojans of USC.
And there's USC, and they play Oregon later on in the season, so they'll have a chance to maybe make a statement.
I don't even know why USC is up
also.
there.
So when you talk that 4th Big Ten team, they do have a win over Michigan.
Oh, a lot of big games coming in the Big Ten for positioning and trying to make a finish. This is a bit of a fall. Boog, you mentioned this right off the top of the show. Miami descending. They lost the game to Louisville with all the turnovers.
They were number 2.
And you can tell the committee's watching the game, because even though they're a 2-loss team and they have a couple of good wins, the fact that they are going down and descending, they're going to put them down, even though they won the head-to-head against Notre Dame. Miami coming in at 18, a bit of a surprise.
Number 17. There it is, Greg. Georgia Tech, only the 1 loss to North Carolina State, ranked 17.
I think it's about right. I think there's a good football team. They had a really bad game.
They had a good game, but they lost that one game.
The schedule does strengthen down the stretch for Georgia Tech.
That was a horrible loss for Tech.
Still have a game against a ranked Pitt. Plenty of opportunity sitting in front for the Ramblin' Wreck.
Number 6.
That was a horrible loss for Tech.
Gives you the power of AI to build the website you need with full business functionality and a design tailored just for you. Customize every element of
Number 16.
Here we go, 16.
The Vanderbilt Commodores, after that loss to Texas. Vanderbilt's lost a couple of road games to Texas and to Alabama, but still in the fight at 7-2. Big hill to climb if they want to fight their way into the SEC championship game. Louisville has only a loss in overtime to Virginia. They've beaten Miami, and the Cardinals of Jeff Brom ranked number 15. How about number 14?
Ain't a bad.
And head-to-head is likely the difference here between Virginia and Louisville.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think when you look at this committee, it's important to see where they're stacking these two teams at right now. To me, this is great insight when it comes to the head-to-head. And before we all lose our mind on the last Sunday.
Speak for yourself. No.
I loved it already. What are we doing?
Here comes the Big 12.
Utah
Utes. They've had a couple of impressive games, last 2 wins, one over Colorado and then
Utah,
Cincinnati.
Wayne. Come on, bro. Utah?
Put the hammer down against the Bearcats.
The
They look really good. And when we talk about
Oh,
which
man.
conference is getting how many bids, ACC team sitting right behind Utah. Between Big 12 and ACC, a lot of questions going to be at the end, which conference
I
will
don't know
get a
about
second bid,
Utah.
a second team in.
Okay, now quick reminder as we see number 12 and then number 11 that you have the 5 highest ranked conference champions and the next 7 highest ranked teams. Typically that means that the cut line is going to be between 11 and 12.
They say it's 10.
With that in mind, let's see who's number 12.
Night. No lie, they said 10 last night.
Oklahoma Sooners. Sooners stumbled a bit after John Mateer was injured. Big win on the road against Tennessee. They've got a shot at Alabama coming up later. So the Sooners at 7-2.
They might lose to Alabama, so they might be out.
Number 11, this is probably the cut line.
They might be out.
Texas
No lie. They might be out if they got to face Alabama.
And it's amazing, as bad as Texas has looked at times this season,
Texas,
they're right in position and they have a lot of ways left in front of them. If they can continue to ascend and continue to play, Texas could wind up getting in this
2 weeks they go to Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when we'll find out what Texas
Roll
is
in front of
made of.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's also not about style points either. Texas is getting by very narrow margins. Mississippi State and Kentucky.
Play Georgia,
just win, baby. At least here's this
Georgia.
Well, the whole thing is if you start trying to put this list together and if you're sitting in that room,
got a chance.
That's kind of, you hold your nose, it's kind of where they wind up.
At 12,
an opportunity to finish strong.
Georgia,
there's no rule against improving over the course of the season.
Utah might got a chance too at 13.
Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. 2 losses, first 2 games of the season. One on the literal last play of the game, the other on the virtual last play of the game after missing an extra point. They're getting some respect because of how they played and probably how tight those losses
and the way they look now. They look like a dominant football team running the ball.
Notwithstanding Saturday. Everybody's entitled to one.
Everybody is entitled to one.
Yeah.
And if you have one close game.
We're new DC, and now all those players and coaches that are in the room are saying, look how they're playing now 8 games into this, 8 games later. They're a completely different unit on that side of the ball.
And just like last year, they've got reinforcements coming, we hope, it seems, from injury on the offensive line.
Yes,
too.
yes.
Number 9. The Oregon Ducks. Now, this is a team I was really interested to see because while they had the loss to Indiana and a great game in Eugene,
Oregon has a game coming up.
Not a lot of other things on their resume.
Overtime against Penn State, which at the time looked like a pretty good win.
But now
it's win or die time for the Ducks.
It does not look great. They went to overtime with Penn State.
I think everybody acknowledges the firepower. There's no one that denies the ceiling that Oregon has on their best day. We saw it against Rutgers, but right now their best wins against a 5-3 Northwestern team. And that's no disrespect to the Wildcats, just they haven't had a chance to really prove it yet, albeit having lost to Indiana and the way things went now for Penn State.
Well, one thing I do want to point out, while they don't have a big resume win, if you look at ESPN's strength of schedule, it's still top 40. It's not like it's, bottom of the country.
Yeah. Right? I understand it's top 40, but they don't, to your point, Greg, they've had an opportunity to show us. You can't control who's on the schedule.
No, you
just beat who's on your schedule and beat them by a big margin, and they haven't been able to do that.
And things get much tougher for them.
That's the thing with Oregon. They haven't beat people this year.
You got Iowa this week.
They were blowing them out
for them.
Let's go to number 8.
Washington also for them.
Texas Tech. Only the one loss against Arizona State. Joey McGuire's team and that great defense at number 8, great position. Huge game coming up with BYU.
College game coming up this weekend.
And BYU is sitting there at number 7. Had a little bit of a guess. Promise I haven't seen it. Felt like the right spot for the Cougars. Undefeated there. And
I think we all expected.
This
weekend.
The only blemish on BYU's resume is the quarterback's wearing 47. That should be a number that sacks quarterbacks, not one that is a quarterback.
I don't know. Michael Irvin rocked it pretty good there for a while.
As a wide receiver.
But, I'm giving Pollock some love there. Number 6, Ole Miss is 8-1. Lane Kiffin, the object of
Only
million
lost
affection in the
to
coaching carousel.
Georgia.
His team's ranked 6th.
And I think if there's a such thing as a good
Only-
loss, I think
only
you look at
lost
Ole
to
Miss's
Georgia.
loss at Georgia, the way they played in that game, went head to
Only
head with
lost to
Georgia.
Georgia, so,
if you
I
watch
mean,
that game,
decent.
you give Ole Miss credit for that
Decent.
game, even though they lost the game.
Yeah, the week after they went to the wire with Washington State.
I can
It's
see
what
Ole
are
Miss.
they doing?
I think
Yeah.
the next two are going to be pretty
Right.
predictable and easy, and probably some head-to-head as we go to number 5. It's going to be the top 3 that's interesting. Georgia's 5, only lost to Alabama. Is Alabama 4? I assume they are.
Oh my goodness, y'all! Look at this.
We have got to the
Here
point
we
where
go.
literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
Here we go with the. Oh my goodness.
They
So
are.
Georgia,
So Is
Alabama.
number 4, so that leaves
That's all.
Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, 1, 2, 3. We talked about that. Joey has an idea, but it is A&M, Joey, who you said you'd have number 1. A&M as at number 3.
That is surprising to me because of the analytics,
Very.
because of the record strength, because of the.
Obviously, there's 2 games to play and maneuvering to do, and we are likely on target for an Ohio State, Indiana Big Ten championship game, barring some pretty significant upset the rest of the way. Hoosiers' schedule is very, very favorable, and Ohio State,
All right,
of course,
well,
has
there we
Michigan.
go.
They don't play
Ohio
each other in the
State still
regular
number
season.
1.
So there's one thing missing from the top 25 if you look at the criteria for establishing the bracket. It's the 5 highest-ranked conference champions. Only 4 conferences represented in that top 25. So what the committee does, they continue ranking until they get to a team with the 5th highest-ranked team from a conference to give you an idea of who would make it into the bracket. That's how they'll do it on Selection Day. So let's start to put together the bracket right now and look and see exactly how all of this would unfold if it were that way right now. So it would be, as you see on the left with the CFP rankings, it would be the Memphis Tigers. They're not in the top 25, but they are at the moment the highest ranked among the teams in the group of 5. Teams with the byes will be the top 4 ranked teams. Told you earlier, does not matter what conference you're in, does not matter if you are a conference champion. Obviously, that will help you get there on Selection Day, but right now, it's Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama. So the teams that would have the home games in Athens, home game in Lubbock, Oxford, and Provo. You see Georgia's 5, Ole Miss 6, BYU 7, Texas Tech 8. So that would mean that Georgia would play Memphis. It would be the 5th highest ranked conference champion to make the field. So despite the fact that the Tigers are not ranked officially, they would be the 12th seed. And you see the other matchups, Oregon and Texas Tech, Tyler Shuck Bowl, so to speak, Virginia and Ole Miss, and Notre Dame and BYU. That's how it would stop for right now. So what jumped out at you? What was... They seem to honor head-to-head.
That would be wild, yo.
Comparable.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to think Miami and Notre Dame at this point were comparable.
I'm like baffled.
You talk
right
about
now.
the blitz?
It's because I
It's
actually
real.
really agree with the rankings. I mean, I
This
don't have
blitz
like
is
a
getting
huge
real.
issue outside of maybe a team or two that might be slightly too high, too low. This rankings makes sense. And this is the first time I feel like in an initial ranking where it's like, all right, I understand why they did that. That makes sense to me. They're putting premiums
It's
on how
not
a
too
team's
bad,
look, how
though.
consistent
Not
they
gonna
play.
lie.
They're
Not
penalizing
too
teams that haven't
bad,
played
but-
anybody just yet or don't have a great win, a la Oregon, who, by the way, looks great, but they haven't played enough people yet to warrant a higher ranking. They're sitting 3 spots behind a team that I was curious to see who they'd be measured up against in Ole Miss. I just think they did a great job this week, and I'm like flabbergasted by it. So tip the cap to the committee.
So to your point about teams that hadn't played anybody, who's Ohio State's best win?
Well, Texas, who's ranked 10th.
Illinois is not bad.
Yeah, I truly understand it. To Joey's point, I think Texas A&M's resume, the way they look, what they've done, deserves to be number 1. And I think when you look at Indiana going on the road to outs and beating Oregon, they even had an opportunity. I would have put them number 1. I don't know if I'd put Ohio State at number 1 based on what they've done. Now, they still have road in front of them. But to Joey's point, Indiana and Texas A&M, I think they've done more so far.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. Who do you think's better?
So now here's the thing about that question.
That carries some weight, too.
Here's the
That's part
thing
of it.
about that question. And that's why I wanted to see this ranking, because this tells me that they're going a lot on eye test here. Because if we're going on rankings and analytics, Texas A&M is best analytically over Indiana and Ohio State. And they're sitting at 3. So they're going a lot off of eye test. And when you start telling me we're going off eye test, Reese, now all of a sudden we have no idea where this thing is going. Because when you talk resume, you talk about who's their best win.
But
The Texas team we saw this weekend play Vandy. That was their best game. They looked like the Texas
For 3 quarters.
we expected to see. They weren't that team early on in the season.
Yeah.
They weren't for a large part of that. So when you say who's their best win, a Texas team that didn't look great early. This surprises me because it's a lot of eye test, and I don't trust eye test as much as I trust
I love A&M.
analytics.
I think A&M's a really good football team. They have win right now against one current top 25 football team in Notre Dame, which, by the way, is a great win, especially up there. I mean, goodness gracious, especially with Notre Dame having lost the first game coming off a bye. Like, you get extra points for that. But Ohio State, let's not forget that they also went to Washington and shut Washington down to give them their first loss of the season. So we cannot remove that.
All of that is baked into the analytics.
And I also think if we're going exclusively on eye test, who's the team I'd least like to play? It's Indiana right now. I think Indiana right now, offensively
Everything you
and
said, though,
defensively,
is baked into the analytics that still has Texas A&M above both those teams.
Here's one thing that I let slip by just a little bit. The cut line would be a little bit different right now because you have the 5 highest ranked conference champions got fixated on the Memphis angle of it. Virginia would actually be in the field as the 4th highest ranked conference champion because they at the moment are the highest ranked team from the ACC. So you'd move the cut line up another spot.
And another thing that we can look at here with what happened right now in the ACC with Georgia Tech losing and Miami losing, it's safe to assume they have their work cut out for them to get 2 teams in.
Yeah,
I think that is likely
that
not happening. Now the Big 12. There's some legitimate wiggle room there because you still have Utah that's lingering. You still have Texas Tech and BYU, which will settle itself this weekend potentially. I mean, there's some wiggle room in the Big 12 to get 2 in.
Or more because you have Texas and Oklahoma, too, sitting there about to play Georgia and Alabama, so they could hurt their causes, too. We'll talk a little bit more about this with Mack Rhoades, who is the new chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. He's been on the committee before. Athletic Director at Baylor will join us in just a little bit to talk about some of these decisions. And there's Mack right now. We'll talk a little bit about the enhanced metrics, how that played a role and how they evaluated it. And we'll have him once again explain to Joey that it's all part of it. It's not just metric or just eye test. It's a mix. That's all we have the committee, Joey.
Oh boy, here they go. That's the metrics, all right.
Bro, you're done
I
already.
don't believe in metrics.
How?
I hired Motion to hire. I have a product and a marketing specialist.
And they work for you?
They do all the work that I don't want to do, so I can focus on the business and take care of things that are actually important.
That's actually insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. With Motion, you can go from being a one-man team to having a full fleet of employees. It's easy to wait till you're burning out to want to hire employees, but your focus should be getting employees to avoid the burnout.
All right, so
Welcome back to College Football Playoff Top 25, presented by Allstate.
All right, well,
First rankings
let me know in the comments, you guys. What do we think of these
There are a
rankings?
couple little things to note here for the last 2 teams in the field. Memphis is not in the top 25. They would be seeded 12th if this would be the way that it ends, by virtue of the fact that they would be the 5th highest ranked conference champion. And Virginia wouldn't be in the cut line as an at-large. Virginia is number 14, but they would make the field because they would be the 4th highest ranked conference champion. But a lot more to change over the course of time. Of course, as the 12-team playoff continues to unfold and the rankings come week to week. Mack Rhoades, who is the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, joined us now. Mack, we talked a little bit earlier, right before the show, about the new enhanced metrics that the committee is using, the difference in the way strength of schedule is evaluated, and for the first time, the metric you are calling record strength. How well did you play against your schedule? Given those metrics, who did that have the biggest impact on in terms of evaluation, the new enhanced version of the metrics?
Well, one, great to be with you, Reese, and Booger and Greg and Joey. And Greg, by the way, I agree completely with you. But to your question, Reese, for example, it came up when we talked about Oregon. And Oregon, when you look at them in the top 10, are lowest ranked in terms of record strength. And so the committee had a lot of conversation, rigorous debate, conversation about, Oregon as a team. And, we're blessed to have 3 coaches in the room and looking at the tape And when you looked at Oregon, great players at the skill position. Felt that they're really good up front, both sides of the ball. Their one loss is to our number 2 ranked team, Indiana.
Yep.
And so again, when we looked and evaluated Oregon, we really looked, in terms of just quality of team and how they looked on film.
Okay, so Oregon's only loss is to Indiana. So let's talk a little bit about the 3 highest ranked teams. Joey's pointed out many of the metrics, assuming they mirror what was in the room, would favor Texas A&M. I think all of us who watched Ohio State and Indiana play, it's hard to argue with them. How did the metrics weigh against the football judgment in the room of watching those 2 teams from the Big Ten play?
Yeah, we had, robust discussion about the 3 of them. Obviously, all 3 undefeated. We had great discussion about them on Monday. We certainly came back today. We really felt like the committee that Ohio State and Indiana were close. When you looked at the statistical data, both offensively and defensively, 2 teams, both in the top 5 offensively, 2 teams, both in the top 5 defensively, both with really good wins. Ohio State, a win against Washington and certainly against Texas. Indiana, a win against Oregon and Iowa. But when we again looked at tape, we looked at metrics. We felt like Ohio State a little bit better up front on the offensive line, and we thought they were better defensively. And then when we looked at statistics and we included Texas A&M as part of the discussion. Again, we just felt like the separator there was defensively, and that those 2 teams, both Ohio State and Indiana, were better defensively. So you're talking about 3 great teams, 3 deserving teams, and we really had, again, great discussion, great debate about the 3.
You've got several. You got a
Who
handful
out there
of
thinks the
one-loss
committee
teams
watches
ranked
tape?
above an undefeated
Not TV
BYU.
copy
You
tape.
have some 2-loss teams ranked ahead of 1-loss teams. How cognizant is the discussion in the room at sort of getting away from what has really been part of the DNA of evaluating college football teams for more than a century of, well, they're undefeated. Well, they have fewer losses. Everybody has a tough time playing the schedule. How cognizant is the committee of not just counting losses?
Yeah, I think it's always part of the discussion when we're talking about wins and losses. That's extremely important. But again, we have a variety of tools at our disposal, and so not one is weighted more than the other. We're sitting here and we're looking at head-to-head. We're looking at common opponent. We're looking at schedule strength. We're looking at record strength. We're looking at all of the analytics, and so we truly try to look at each team on its own and its body of work. And I think that's why we wait as a committee, CFP, to begin our rankings, at this point in time of the year where we've got a body of work that we can look at for each of the teams.
Mac, we appreciate your time. We'll do it next week. I'm sure everything will go just as predicted, and this will be easy for you next week. We appreciate it, man.
I doubt that.
Thank you all.
Doubt it, guys.
All right, that is Mac Rhodes. He is the new chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. This is what the 12-team bracket would look like
not going to
if
go
this
as
were selection day, but it most certainly is not. So what about some of the issues that have been raised?
This is not going to go as planned. This is chaos. Remember I told you, chaos.
Heather Dinich will join us momentarily to talk about her takeaways from these initial rankings.
Okay.
Ranked number 10, they would be on the road at BYU. Heather Dinich is here, does an amazing job covering the college football playoff. This is a big deal with the ACC, all of them being outside the top 12.
It's a huge deal, and if you look at this, because of this seeding change, Virginia and BYU, 2 projected conference champions, because of the seeding change, can now be eliminated in the first round. They no longer get that bye. That's important. And I think one of the other things that people need to notice. In regards to the ACC, there are 3 Big 12 teams ranked ahead of the ACC's first team. So that shows the conference pecking order. But Reese, one other thing that I would point out here is how deep the field is this year. Because we get focused on these top 12. You got to go down to USC, to Michigan, to Pitt, because any team that has a chance to win its conference is still in the conversation. And when you go down to USC, guess where they're going? They're going to go to Oregon. You know how quickly you can flip the script on that narrative in the Big Ten? Michigan can beat the committee's #1 team. Finish 10-2. Then what are you going to do?
Well, that's never happened. They would beat Ohio State, knock them off. I mean, and right now, too, if that doesn't happen, you have a potential 1-2 game in the Big Ten championship game, and maybe you're still 1-2 at the end of that if that were to happen. But a long way to go. I mean, Georgia's got a snake pit game this week against Mississippi State.
This could be a sneaky week.
Yeah,
and look, Notre Dame is 1 loss away from opening a hole for somebody else to jump out. Hey, Pitt, they're your spoiler.
Maybe, but you know what? You go eye test, I'm still saying they're top 5.
Yep,
Moments away from the Dick Vitale Invitational, Texas and Duke. Dickie V with Jay Billis, and I want to correct myself. It's Dave O'Brien. Dave, apologies for saying Dan Schulman, because your night's going to be difficult enough working with Dickie V and Billis. I don't want to make it any worse. Bubble teams that Heather talked about, a lot of teams can turn it upside down. Anybody that you really believe in coming down the stretch?
Pitt. I think Pitt's very real. You got a freshman quarterback. He's only going to get better from this point forward. Don't get me wrong. I don't like their chances against Notre Dame, but I don't like many teams' chances against Notre Dame right now. So Pitt, to me, right now, with what's remaining on the schedule, they can be the biggest spoiler in college football this year, whether they make it to the ACC title game or not.
I think the Big Ten is going to get real interesting with Iowa playing Oregon. USC gets a shot at Oregon later on, and Michigan gets a shot at Ohio State. If they can knock off #1, that might be the 4th Big Ten team into this conversation, which would then affect ACC, Big 12, who gets another bid.
And you talk about teams that have a lot of road left in front of them. How about Oklahoma? I mean, you got Bama, Missouri, LSU left in front of them. You run the table with that. Oklahoma's getting in there based on that gauntlet of schedule that if they were to go through.
Did you count LSU in the gauntlet?
Ugly.
Yeah, when you think about Oklahoma, though, we saw Iowa get somewhat rewarded, we're assuming.
Correct.
Based on a close loss to Indiana. So let's say Oklahoma loses close to, say, Bama in Tuscaloosa. Is that enough to maybe keep them in the mix, even as a 3-loss team?
Oklahoma right now at number 12, 35% chance to make the playoff, according to the playoff predictor. Indiana and Ohio State at 99%. You know, the scenario you brought up with Michigan and Ohio State, if they win, I would put Michigan in the Big Ten championship game, because one of the Wolverines' losses is a non-conference loss.
I like it. I love it.
Just saying.
When Reese gets that smile when he's saying
that's when you know he's got something. He's been saving a little something.
He got a little something for you. Hey, listen, if he's going to count LSU in the gauntlet, then all bets are off.
Perceived gauntlet.
December 7th is when we'll have the final rankings. Next edition come out next week. Dick Vitale.
All right, guys.
Take it away, Dave O'Brien.
And listen. All right. So that is the CFP power. That is the rankings. That is, guys, the rankings. That is the Big 12, the list. That is the one and only. That is the guys who decide how this is going to be shaped up at the end of the year. And guess what? It's not the edge of stone. It's nothing. We got upsets, though. We got upsets. It's the weekend for upsets. You know, as well as I know, things can change. This is college football, baby. And Saturday is going to have a lot of hopeful. We have BYU, Texas Tech, Georgia, Mississippi State, Alabama, LSU. Oh man, there's no head coach. That's interim juice. It's always a rivalry, even though it's not a traditional rivalry, but it's a rivalry. So now you gotta wonder how things gonna turn out. How are these things gonna turn out? So Georgia Tech, they lose. Miami, they lose. There's a couple other ones in there. SMU, they put their name in. I mean, November the 5th, and we are already 2 weeks outside of the college playoffs. And you want to know how things are going to turn out. They about to get real chaotic. And this is only the beginning. Indiana looks good. Ohio State still undefeated. Texas A&M looks like the team to beat. Boy, Oklahoma, they're on their alert. You might as well keep them on alert because they're one away. Notre Dame, I don't really know. Because guess what? The Catholic, it's a lot of praying going on right now. But Indiana, a couple turnovers, and you guys can be on that slippery slope. Oregon, I don't even trust it. You're outside looking in, and the hoopla and the outside noise can get to you. We all seen what happened to Clemson and Duke. All the favorites have fallen. Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, and then you have Indiana, and then Ohio State. That's your top five. Top five. You got Ole Miss sitting at 6. Lane Kiffin got the program believing. But is that enough? I don't see Ole Miss taking and running this to the end. Like, this is not. No, guys, come on, stop. And like old girl just said, I believe that USC, Michigan, there's a number of teams, Pitt, that can have a good game this weekend that can change all of this up. And then we all are sitting back wondering, well, how did all this change? So this weekend we'll have decided, we're gonna do our normal routine. Thursday we got NFL Blitz, TNF NFL Blitz. We got the Friday night Blitz college football. Saturday we definitely gonna be here for the Saturday in college CFP Blitz. Then we got Sunday Fun Day. You know what it is. So stay tuned, stay clutch for that. Guys, it's that time of year again, man. And I'm happy to be here for all of that action, man. Because you know what? Dude, I got my note. Hold on. I brought the notepad out, right? I got my new notebook over there, too, guys. I got my new book. I'm almost finished with this one. But look, we got the notebook right here, right? We went through the notebook, right? So look, Indiana turned the ball over. That was their fourth turnover of the year this year. Vandy, they had to upset. Now listen, they almost got that dub. I ain't gonna lie to you, they almost got a dub. But you can't rely on turnovers, bro. You can't rely on hopefuls and if I shoulda, coulda got this, I need this. No, you can't rely on that, champ. You gotta know I need to get this dub. Because Vandy fell, and we all kind of knew Texas was that team. Now, Texas, can they make that run? That's going to be interesting subject matter as we get closer to the weekend. But Georgia, they outlast Florida at the Swamp. That rivalry game definitely had me intrigued. Now, Georgia is number 5. Alabama is number 4. Georgia, can they do enough to get relevant? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if Gunnar Stockton got that juice. Georgia, don't be mad at your boy, champ. Don't come for me. I like you. I really do. I like Roll Tide Roll. I really do. I like the boot. LSU, 45 minutes down. I'm 45 minutes down the road from the Tiger Stadium. However, there's no head coach. There's no damn AD. The governor then stepped in. There's a whole damn circus show going on up the road in Baton Rouge right now. They didn't fire the man. Now, that was an embarrassing loss. There was. Texas A&M deserves to be number 3. They really should have jumped over, because if you put them against number 1 and 2, they probably have beat 1 and 2. They probably would. I honestly would believe that. I still believe the SEC, despite me being a Big Ten Wolverine fan, would dominate. Ohio State, yes, they have a good defense, but they stuttered and sputtered against Penn State. Indiana, they start off kind of slow. They throw interceptions, but they get the job done. Texas A&M just destroys you. Did you see what they did at LSU? In LSU. One man can run the world. I ain't gonna sing it. What's that? Oklahoma and Tennessee, guys. I was wondering, but Oklahoma gets the job done. Matier shows up and he says, wait, hold on. I heard what you said about me. Wait, my hand looks good. I can throw the ball. I can get the job done. Wait, don't sleep on us. What y'all talking about? Oklahoma really came through clutch. They didn't collapse. Tennessee, they got problems. They look good. But what is it that Tennessee does towards the latter part of the season that just has them stop? Like, what is it? Since Hooker left, you stop? Cincinnati, you never even showed up off the bus against the Utes. You never did, champ. Did they ever get off the bus? That's the question. Never seen them get off the bus. It was 31-14. It was a dominating fashion. And the Utes are in there. And if you watch the video, I played the video earlier of the committee with their 25 votes that sets us for the month of November. So we can get ready for playoffs, champ. Playoffs. In my Jim Moore voice, playoffs. Oh my goodness. This is about to get ugly. 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 Chaos is my better term that I love to use, because tomorrow night we got Raiders and Broncos from Denver. And that can generally turn how this whole week goes. But this weekend, as far as college football goes, sheesh, man, look, let me tell you something. Right. LSU and Alabama. What the? They have no coach. So there's nothing for LSU to lose. Alabama has everything for them. They're number 4. Georgia got to play M State, who is right there. They're right there on the cusp of getting in there. They damn near lost. They're like the Cardinals of the NFL right now. They're probably one loss away from every fucking game they played. Oregon has a game coming up. Texas Tech has a game coming up. So this weekend right here of college football, guys, the committee. Drop my mouse, y'all. Look, drop the freaking mouse. But the committee dropping the list this weekend and trying to sell us on this little. Oh well, we're gonna see how. Man, y'all know pure chaos is about to start, right? So the chaos starts, and then y'all want to try and clean it up by letting these people battle it out. Put it like that. So we're gonna sit back, watch how this shit plays out, and then we're gonna sit back and be like, "Oh well, damn, this team shouldn't be in there," because BYU has to play. Who is it? BYU plays. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I got it right here, folks. BYU and matter of fact, let me turn my live chat on while we here. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't even do it. Y'all ain't hit me in the chat anyway. How y'all doing tonight? Anyway, folks, welcome. I gotta get power rankings up next after this. So power rankings will be right behind this. Give me 1 second for that. Trust me, it'll be out right after this power rankings. I have not done this. Wednesday, we have power rankings out today. This episode is actually supposed to be out yesterday, but we was watching the committee with their long drawn out speeches and long drawn out explanations about why they are doing this to us with these freaking rankings. It was like, okay, and you want me to believe there's no favoritism involved in this college football? Okay, sure. I won't. I would just accept what you're selling me right now. Okay, tonight we got Ball State and Kent State, and it was Ball State over Kent State. Toledo blowed out North Illinois, guys. They blowed 42-3. Lord have mercy. Akron beat UMass last night. Ohio beat Miami, Ohio 24-20 last night. And tomorrow night we got Georgia Southern at App State and UTSA and Southern Florida. Friday night blitz is going to be either Houston, UCF, Northwestern at USC. Most likely it'll be USA. But no, we're going to get Tulane and Memphis. We're going to get Tulane and Memphis game, guys. We're going to be getting the Tulane. That's at 8 o'clock. So the Friday night blitz over here, we're going to have the Tulane and Memphis game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tulane and Memphis. 6-2, 8-1, because Memphis is one of those teams that they're trying to get into the college playoffs. They said we need Memphis. They're outside looking in. Tulane, 6-2, they can still get in there. So Saturday, you got Indiana, Penn State, Georgia, Mississippi, BYU and Texas Tech, 7-8, facing off at 11 a.m. SMU and Boston College, Colorado and West Virginia. Deion going up against West Virginia. Both of them 3-6. Dog. Deion needs a win. Not gonna lie, Deion and the Buffaloes need a win, guys. They need a win. Southern Miss and Arkansas State, Temple and Army. And we got Ohio State and Purdue. I don't think Purdue going to do anything against them. I would say that if they played my Wolverines, well, they did play my Wolverines hard. They did. They played my Wolverines kind of hard, but unfortunately, folks, it was your best is not good enough. Let's see. We got Texas A&M at Missouri. Number 3 at number 22. Are you serious? That's not all right. A&M and Missouri. Then we got Oregon at Iowa. That's at 2:30. So we got two. So we got Saturday. We're gonna either have to. We might have to bounce in between two of them, guys. Saturday we might have to give you a 2-piece. You might get the A&M Missouri, or most likely you get big between. Then we got Miami and Syracuse. 18 Miami trying to redeem themselves, and they playing Syracuse. Duke and UConn, Kansas, Arizona, Iowa, TCU, Auburn, who has just fired their coach, plays Vanderbilt, 7-2. Kennesaw State, who's bowl eligible, and New Mexico State, Georgia State, Coastal, Washington at Wisconsin. That's an interesting event. Why I say it's interesting? Because Washington is 23. Wisconsin, they're outside of everything looking. They're just there. We got Stanford, North Carolina, Texas State, and Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. We got Air Force in San Jose, Wake Forest, Virginia. Now, Virginia has Wake Forest. That should be an interesting game at 6 p.m. But Florida State and Clemson. Now, the Florida State and Clemson game is going to be good because Dabo is coming off a loss to Duke. Florida State is trying to find something because let me tell you, Florida State is 4-4. They were. Do we have to go back over how Florida State started the season? They were hot. All right. Then, guys, 6:30, we got LSU at Alabama. All right. LSU at Alabama, Navy at Notre Dame, Florida at Kentucky, Nevada at Utah State, Nebraska at UCLA, UNLV at Colorado State, Sam Houston at Oregon State, San Diego at Hawaii, and that's going to close us out for the night. But definitely, we're going to do the Roll Tide LSU 6:30. Definitely, we got that game. Definitely, we're going to get that. But do you see how this weekend has set us up? Talking about the selection committee is giving us some. They're setting this up. They set this up. You have to win. They called these. They didn't even call these games, but they set the graphic up. They put the teams up who they intended to be in the playoffs, and now you have 2 weeks to show that you can beat your opponent. Not just beat your opponent, but you got to beat your opponent. So Alabama has to go beat LSU. Oregon has to beat Iowa. Texas A&M, you got to beat Missouri. Wait, where's the other guy? Where is the other? Ohio State, you better blow out Purdue. If you don't, then you're not looking like number one. Oregon, you gotta handle your business against Iowa. There is no room for error. You slip up, you're done. This is this. I remember I said I'm doing my Jim Moore. The playoffs. The playoffs. Okay, yeah. Y'all thought I was playing when I said that. So, guys, no room for error. No room for error. College football breakdown. I love this. This is chaos. This is what we get. We get straight chaos. we get the chaos. So again, I wish I could be like, guys, you can have your team make it just by winning by 7 or by winning to get in. No, they got to pull up the numbers. They got defense, got to get some turnovers. You got to stomp something. You can't get upset at this weekend. You got to outshine the competition. So, top 25. Man, hold on. I'll pull it up for y'all. Because we about to get the body here so I can get the power rankings up next, guys. I got power rankings to do next. So, yeah, we got the notebook ready, baby. Notebook is ready and it is working. Trust me. So, guys, let's pull up the power. Hold on. Let me get the power. Let me get the, yeah, let's get to, here we go. Let me pull up the 25. Pull up the top 25 real quick. Pull up the top 25 so I can let y'all see what they talking about. Y'all ain't need me. Look, we go week 11 right here. Here we go, week 11. All right, y'all ready for it? Here we go. Here go week 11 right here. There it is. No, week 11. All right. So, let's get started. Northwestern is at USC. USC is ranked 19. I would love for Northwestern to upset USC. Let's just say it. I love it. I would love it. I'm going to call it upset USC. Then you have Indiana and Penn State. Indiana at Penn State. Okay? Indiana at Penn State. Penn State, if you really want to finish out your year like you want to feel like somebody, I'm saying this is your chance. Upset Indiana. Upset number 2. Georgia got Mississippi State. You guys can do it. Mississippi, you can do it. BYU, Texas Tech. Texas Tech, you can upset the last unbeaten. You can go, right. They got to come to Texas Tech. You getting game day coming down there to Lubbock. Jones AT&T Stadium. You getting game day. College football game day is going to be there Saturday. They're going to be in Lubbock Saturday. So guess what? If they're down there Saturday in Lubbock, then guess what? You better show off and show up and make sure that you beat BYU. They're coming in there 8-0, and there is nothing to talk about. The lowest ticket you can get is $407 to get in this party. I was listening to Pat McAfee. They already camped out, and today is Wednesday. The game ain't till Saturday. Check that one out. Let that sink in. Ohio State has Purdue. Purdue, please just do it. I understand you don't like me because of what happened last week, but it ain't my fault. You know what's gonna happen when you came to the big house. Stop playing. You're not coming to Michigan and doing nothing. You better stop it. Just do it for me, Purdue. And it's at home in Purdue, in Boilermaker country, in Lafayette, Indiana. I don't know if then we got Citadel going to Ole Miss. Okay, we'll just let that one be because you know, most of these games, guys. I don't know. Most of these games right here, guys. These games they take place generally at the beginning of the season. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Citadels and the Western Michigans and those type of games, they take place beginning of the year. But you gave them some land yap. You gave them a little freebie. Throw me a dog here. Ole Miss, you lose this game, bro. Honestly, Ole Miss lose this game. Come on, guys. I honestly don't. There's no excuse. There would be no excuse for this shit. All right, then we got Texas A&M in Missouri. What the? Now we're going to Columbia, Missouri for this one. We're traveling. Missouri is coming off the loss to what? Pavia and them? No. Yeah, they lost. So you know you gotta win. You need a win. Whoa there, you need a win. So Texas is definitely gotta shine like they did against LSU. They're 8-0, 5-0 in the SEC. They're playing a division rival. They're trying to just get on the road, get a dub. They already got a coach fired. They got an AD. They got a governor talking. They got the governor of Louisiana in an uproar after that upset loss. You thought LSU dropped. They dropped all the way out the top 25, and now you got to play Alabama. It's horrible. Then we got Oregon and Iowa. This is what the committee wanted to see from Oregon. Can Oregon beat Iowa? Can Oregon beat Iowa and not just beat Iowa, but can they go to Iowa City in a hostile environment and beat them handily? Not just go in there and just do some 1-2 step, get a few points. No, go in there and shut it down. Your quarterback, Moore, he got 1772, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. You know you're going to need this man to go in there and punch down. Punch down. If you don't shut it down, Brian, when you go in there for this game right here, guys, look, this is one of them games where you got to get the W. There is no way you go in there and you put up a mediocre game. The committee's already got an eye on you. They're watching you. You lost to Indiana at home. At home, bro. Bro. You lost to Indiana at home. Now you have to take the show on the road to prove a point. Yeah, you beat the whiteout. You beat them at the whiteout. But they was already on a downward spiral. I mean, I credit you for doing that. I do. I give you salute, champs. But you're that little brother in the game right now that everybody's saying, can they do it? Can you do it? But we need answers. So from Iowa City, we're going to see Oregon at 2:30 in Iowa. We may be getting. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna pull this one. I'm gonna pull this one because it's on CBS. So we'll pull this one. We'll pull this one, guys. We actually might do this one. We'll flip this one. And then we got Syracuse, Miami. Oh my goodness. Can it get any better? Worse or worse? Proper pronunciation, please, Jay. Can it get any? Can the bleeding stop? How about that? Because Miami has fallen, guys. Remember they were number 2. People were saying that was That was one of the best teams in the country. I think this is the best team in the country. That's what the talking heads were saying. I was looking at Miami like, are you serious? I liked Miami. I remember I was at a Friday night game for my son. He was senior night. And I remember when they lost that game. I think that video got me 1K on my shorts. I was like, ooh, look at this. These boys got that. Or they got pop. Now they playing Syracuse. A trap. Can we say trap? Can y'all put trap in there for me? Trap game. Trap game. Because Miami, if you do not take it serious, you're already 2-loss team. You're already a 2. Right. You're already lost 2. You're already lost 2 horrible games. So now here we go with a chance to rebound and shake back and be that team. You have this opportunity. If you can make it through this game against Syracuse, who Syracuse is not, don't let the records fool you. We're not going to go by records. We're going to go by performances. Because Syracuse, honestly, hangs in there. I'm shocked too. I am. I turn on the games and be like, what the? But Louisville upset Miami. All right, then. Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. Auburn and Virginia. Auburn and Vanderbilt. Pardon me. I'm not going to even disrespect Virginia. But Vanderbilt, guys, they're coming off unexpected losses. They just took a loss. They had that game, though. I ain't going to lie. They damn near came back. They had enough belief to will their way back into the game. And at the last moment, almost got the turnover on the kick. I was like, is this game about to really? And then the ball went out of bounds. The ball goes out of bounds. I was like, sheesh. This is dumb. Because Pavia put the helmet on, was like, okay, let's. He was trying to get one more chance. You cannot play from behind and expect to win. It's hard enough. It's hard. Trust me, God, it's hard. NFL teams know it's hard to play from behind and win. You got to get in and stop playing. Like college, you guys know you got to get in there and you got to strike. Auburn just fired their head coach. That's a story we still haven't got to the bottom of why he got fired, what happened, who he was, what the whole 5 W's and an H was. But just know Auburn fired their head coach. That was Sunday. And now they're playing Vanderbilt, number 16. So, damn. We in the building with some. And now Auburn has to travel to Nashville, Tennessee. It is about to be interesting. So, Vanderbilt, you can get it. Auburn is a team that can upset you. You don't believe me, do you? Then, guys, scratching on. We got Washington and Wisconsin. Now, I know Williams Jr. is that guy. 21-17, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Can move like Jagger. He got swag. That boy, But Washington, 2-loss team, number 23. If you get past Wisconsin, we can talk about this. I gotta see you get past Wisconsin first, guys, and at the 3:30 window of games, it's like it's kind of. Then we get to that 6:00 game window, right? We got Wake Forest, Virginia. Virginia ain't nothing to do but cook. Shout out to the Clips, but Virginia definitely is show me because I was like, they ain't gonna win, and then they bounce right back like it was nothing. Louisville upset guys, the guys who came through clutching it and said, hold on, we're worthy of being in the talk. They get a win. They might be in ahead. And then we have the game, which would have been something had it not been for Texas A&M getting Brian Kelly fired. Had it not been for Nussmeier in the office having a meltdown, might have been a good game. But now LSU and Alabama is just a game. But one thing you can count on, LSU is going to compete. Simpson, 2184, 20 touchdowns, and 1 interception. LSU has a defense. I expect LSU to compete. Alabama knows they need this game to win to stay in the committee's good graces. Guess what? They're set up. Do I believe the rat poison? Yeah, here it goes. Get out the bottles. Wait. Hold on. Oh, no. Get that rat poison. Get out that rat poison. Get it out because guess what? This game right here, you're going to eat it. Alabama, if they mess around and let LSU get this W, it's over with. You're taking an L. And especially if Georgia wins, Georgia's going to jump you. Now we're going to see how the committee acts because all it takes is for one of these top 5 to lose Saturday. And guys, it changes the whole playoff bracket. On to the next one because I just have this sneaky feeling that LSU is going to pull off a ugly win. And then Navy and Notre Dame. Why do I feel like Notre Dame is going to go in to Notre Dame, Indiana, and upset? I just feel like it's about to be Notre Dame upsetting, getting upset rather. I'm sorry, they're getting upset because Navy, despite us having any good video of Navy, they're 7-1. Notre Dame coming in with 2 losses, and these two have battled. And Notre Dame had struggled against Boston College. They only beat them 25-10. I know, Jay, you're reaching. Jay, you don't know the shit about no football, Jay. Shut the hell up. No. I watch this every Saturday. I follow it, I listen to it, I eat it, I sleep to it. It will put me to sleep at night. I just heard the Carr interview that he had, and guys, I like the guy. I genuinely like him. I don't like Notre Dame, but I genuinely like Carr. But when I look at the fact that the committee has projected these winners, they already have edged this little bracket together. I know people about to play spoiler. Navy trying to play spoiler. They're like, nah, nope. And that's going to be the top 25 games right there. That is your top 25 right there for Friday, Saturday. We got one game Friday, and the Friday game we gonna make sure we get UCS. But I mean, like I told you, I like the Tulane game in Memphis because that's gonna tell us who the Power 5 school can get in to the 12. Could it be Memphis? Could Tulane upset them to get them in there? I mean, could it be? That's what I'm looking forward to. But out of these games, Indiana, Penn State, Georgia, Mississippi, BYU, Texas Tech, Purdue, any one of them can get it. Now I'm not gonna lie, Oregon, Iowa, bruh, these are definitely up in the air, except for me. Like I say, Penn State kind of coming in after that embarrassment from last week, and they're like, "Look, we know what Indiana can do. Let's just try and do what we can do best, and let's just hold them." Georgia, they already know. And then Mississippi State quarterback coming in 21-48, 15 tutties, 6 interceptions. You know, they coming in automatically, and it's in Mississippi. It's in Starkville. So Georgia got to travel for this one. All right. BYU, they got to travel to Lubbock. And that boy Morton, 1750, 15 touchdowns, 4 tutties. 4 interceptions. Guess what? He looking good. And this game is in University Park, Pennsylvania. So Indiana got to travel on the road. So I'm looking at a lot of these teams are traveling. So we should see if this game's change up anything, because you got to take the show on the road. This is another factor the committees are factoring in. Can you travel and do your best? If you can travel and still put a solid victory down in a hostile environment, because Indiana's favored with 14.5, Georgia 8.5, Texas Tech 10.5. Ohio State 29.5. Ole Miss, they only had no number. Texas A&M 6.5. Oregon 6.5. Miami 28.5. Vanderbilt 6.5. Washington 11.5. UVA 6.5. Louisville 20.5. Alabama 10.5. See what I'm saying? Notre Dame 25.5. So look at the numbers. See what I'm saying? And that is your odds right now. So guys, I'm not buying into all of it. I'm here for the chaos. That's what we're here for. The chaos of the blitz. That's what we got for Friday, Saturday. So like I told you, we got Tulane and Memphis. Tulane and Memphis on Friday night. Where are they playing that game, man? I think we're playing in Memphis, so it's not in New Orleans. I'm about to say, if it's in New Orleans, bro, we might can get a ticket to that game and get to that Tulane game, you know? I might can give me some footage from the Tulane game, tailgate and all that. But, you know, yeah, but yeah. We got some time right now, folks. So, guys, it's been real, though. I love this. This is the CFP Blitz. We got some games coming up this weekend. The committee has ruled there are 12 for the playoff bracket. They have laid the foundation for it. We have 2 weeks before college football pretty much kicks off. Right now, we're getting the selection committees, I guess you call it the games. Because now, like I said, we went through the games. You either win or go home, or you get ready for a bowl game. But if you want to get to that 12 down to 1, well, you know what that means. You got to win it out. You got to win it out, baby. You gotta put your name in the hat. You gotta keep running. And right now, this weekend right here, we're gonna see who's real and who's not. Who's clutch and who's gonna collapse. So stay tuned, stay clutch. It's Jay's perspective, and this is the CFP Clutch Sports Media College Breakdown. Right behind this, we'll be rolling our power rankings. Yes, week 10 NFL power rankings. It's Wednesday. You know it's power rankings, guys. Bringing the power rankings to you. Yes, gotcha. But leave me a comment. Who's your college team? What do you think? Who you think they're going to beat this weekend? What do you think you're going to do? Do you think you can get a chance at the Natty? Because I know my Wolverines are 21. We got a shot. It's a long shot, but I think we can get there. I honestly do think all we got to do is win the rest of these games and knock off Ohio State in the big game. And then we get the Big Ten championship. Now, from the Big Ten championship, if we got to play Indiana, we beat Indiana, we in there some kind of way. I don't know, but it's a long shot. I say it's a long shot. I called it a long shot. Just remember. So go blue. That's what I'm saying. If not, I'm just gonna be here for the commentary and bring you the college breakdown news. That's all it is, baby. Thank you for tuning in. It's the Wednesday show. It's supposed to be done Tuesday, but they dragged out the whole college committee thing. We had a whole feature. I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting there listening to it. They pulled out the top 25 and they put the bracket up. Then they went to talking about each team. Then they went through each team's way to go there. I was sitting there. I was like, and by the time I realized it was already past the time, I was like, I'll just get y'all tomorrow with this. So like, I do apologize though, but I'm about to get the power rankings together, guys. I'm already late for that shit. I should have had them done. I got them done. Look, we got the power rankings done. I just ain't posting. So we about to post the power rankings and get that done. Tomorrow, look forward to the Patriot Blitz. Yes, the Patriot Blitz, guys. Yeah. Y'all thought we forgot about that? Nah, saying Patriot Blitz week 9. Patriot Blitz. Yes. 7-2. Uncharted territory. Murky waters. I'm looking for you. So, thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's been rough, right? I appreciate y'all. Please like, please follow, please subscribe. I do appreciate y'all for this. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Tomorrow is the Thursday night blitz. Yes, we got the Jets. No, not the Jets. We got the Raiders and the Broncos. Raiders and Broncos, guys. Raiders and Broncos. And we also got college football, but tomorrow TNF. Then Friday night, we got the Blitz. We got Northwestern, USC, Tulane, and Memphis. Most likely we'll probably get you Northwestern and USC and Tulane and Memphis. Flip a coin. See. And then, of course, Saturday, all day. All day. Michigan is off this week. So, no Michigan football this week, unfortunately. Then the Sunday Fun Day, NFL Blitz. Patriots is at the Buccaneers. So, we're down south again. We're down south again, guys. We're back down south. We're taking on Baker. Yeah, we got Baker. Yeah. But it's all good, though. I do love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep me honest, man. Thank y'all. Let's see. What else? I think that's it. Oh, wait. Y'all want to see last week's power rankings before I go? Y'all want to see last week's power rankings? Let me show y'all last week power rankings. Yeah. I didn't give y'all last week's power rankings before I go, man. Yeah, hit y'all with the last week power rankings. So we dip a body up because I gotta drop them things, bro. Dang. I ain't gonna lie, oh god, I be forgetting to drop my shit, show. Because I be doing it on the video, like my bar and them be doing it. I be dropping them on the vid, but I be dropping on the vid. I drop another video where I can tell y'all. I drop another video, tell y'all how it go. There you go, right here.
Yeah. Game time, clock's ticking, no room to hesitate. Pressure builds, feel the weight, legends never late.
These are last week's power rankings too. I want y'all to know. Last week number.
Stay tuned, stay clutch, feel the energy surge.
Yeah.
Snap,
Week 10.
Adrenaline's purge, breaking
they changed up, man.
Pure truth to discuss. From the huddle to the end zone, it's all about us. Past collide, gladiators on the screen, Coliseum playbooks unfold, scheming dreams to redeem them. Refs whistle cuts, the tension like a knife. Each yard gain another chapter in the strife. Blitz coming, crowd roaring, pressures on the rise. Quarterback leads defense. Fire in his eyes, we analyze, strategize, break it down precise. Every highlight, every heartbreak, rolling the dice. Stay tuned, stay clutch, feel the energy surge. Every snap, every play, adrenaline's purge. Breaking it down, no fluff, pure truth to discuss. From the huddle to the end zone, it's all about us. Post-game chatter, stats splatter, empty.
All right, that's last week's power rankings, so y'all know what to expect for this week, baby. I got them coming clutch for you this week. Trust that. But anyway, college football, get ready for the chaos. Get ready for the chaos. Stay tuned. Stay clutch. It's been real. We're gone.